Happy Friday, friends, or Thursday for me. Today we should be able to finish all the bolt slots and all the grips on the pens, which is awesome. That means they're completely done. I can start cycling them and playing with them and making sure they fit up right. Do the final finishing, tumbling, blasting, whatever people have picked, anodize them, and then box them up. So I wanted to be shipping basically tomorrow, Friday for me, which is going to be a little bit tight. That's still earlier than I expected to be shipping this pre-sale. I still have 2 more weeks after this week is over, but I want to try to ship early. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is what we're machining today. This is the bolt slot for the pens that basically functions as the bolt action mechanism. Nothing too fancy, basically a slot with a chamfer around it, but it has to be done well because it has to look good, has to function good, and if it's done ugly and raises burrs, it makes the action not feel good. So these are done one by one because I don't see another way to do it with the equipment I have, but they're all loaded into the 4th axis on the mill with my little tailstock support there. First thing I do is just add some pilot holes and then we drill out. Actually, I want to switch that drill out to a carbide drill so I don't have to do the pilots, and then I can push it a lot harder. This is just your standard like high-speed steel drill, which works okay, but there's time to shave here. If any cycle times I want to shave, it's on this one because it's a lot of manual switching, as you'll see in the video. Lots of interaction with me. I drill out most of the material and then I come back through with an end mill to take the rest out. I find that gives a really nice finish, and it reduces the amount of chatter. There's like a lot of stick out, and that pen is supported well and it's tensioned with the tailstock, but just getting the bulk of the material out with a drill is faster. I have done just plain slotting like this without the drilling, but I just find the end mills last longer and I get much nicer wall finishes, which is important because I can't do any finishing inside that slot. I mean, I did in the past. It's rather annoying, so I like to avoid that. Then a nice beefy chamfer all around. Chamfers are so pleasing to watch. And then I give it a quick check before taking it out of the machine, and usually if one's good, I know all of them are going to be good. And if one's bad, well, they're all going to be bad. That's the wonderful nature of working in batches. Yeah, super pleased with that. The one thing I would like to do, I mean, there's a lot of code optimizations I'd like to do, but one of them is a backside chamfer mill. I'd like to come in and do a backside chamfer on the inside of the pen body. Really minor, but it would help with final finishing and fit up, because right now I go back and I buff the inside of the pen at the very last stage to take care of any burrs that have been pushed to the inside of the pen. Usually there's none, but I like it nice and smooth. So here's the first time I get to basically test cycle the pen and make sure everything lines up. Really pleased with that. The cycle should only get smoother from here because I haven't done the internal polish on the pen yet. So I know if it feels good now, it's just going to feel better with time, like as I go through the process this year. If it feels bad now, I've done something wrong. Love that click. Love that air groove. Makes it nice and sharp. Anyways, then it's just a bunch of rinse and repeat. This is the one area where I'd like to drive cycle time down, just because it's like 30 seconds tool change, 40 seconds tool change, a minute 20 tool change, or get a tool changer. That would be helpful as well. Also, 1 by 1 in the 4th is annoying. I have a lot of ways to optimize this, so I'm not taking out that tailstock. But in this case, like I like to usually save a pen or two from a batch to do, kind of run test code on, but I oversold on this pre-sale, so I don't want to burn too many pens up. So I'm just kind of running code that I know works, even though, if it eats up an extra hour or 2 of my time, I know I'm going to get workable product instead of taking a risk and then garbaging a pen. So yeah, that would be less fun. Once the pen bodies are in, I clock them to the jig. So I think in last week's or yesterday's video, I showed a little Sharpie mark, and basically all I'm doing is aligning that Sharpie mark to a scribe mark on the tailstock, and that gets me close enough to time the threads so the pocket clips line up where I want them to be. I have a little bit of variance on that where it can be. Yeah, pretty happy with how that works. There's absolutely better ways to do this, but with the equipment I have, it works decently well. And I mean, that's the fun thing about a new business is it's easy to put out fires because everything is on fire. So there's optimizations and changes I can make and all kinds of ways I can do this better. But for right now, it works, produces good parts, and lets me get through these pre-sales. Even if it doesn't scale terrifically, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. We'll document it, and then yeah, you'll get to see my failures and successes. But that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.